Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 29 of this NHL 21 No Cap Draft to Glory franchise mode here on my channel. If you guys have missed any episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner of the video right now. There will be a card with a link to the playlist. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss when these uploads come out. So last episode, we got through the draft and finished off our free agent signings and such, as the Komets were able to win, I believe, back-to-back Stanley Cups here. And, yeah, I just got to go double-check the awards to make sure that that is correct. But overall, the team is looking absolutely fantastic. There you go. Kelowna Komets, 2 cups back-to-back, 3 cups in the last 5 years. And, of course, 2 President's Trophies as well. The Komets have just been an absolutely dominant force, and you know, Charlie K won an award a bit further back there. He won the Art Ross. Sergei Kasparaitis, on the other hand, I mean, not just Sergei Kasparaitis, but Kelowna Komets defenders in general have just been godly. That's 5 in a row between. You can't even see it right now. My camera is in the way. Let me just shrink that down a little bit. That's the wrong one. There we go. Now you guys can see it. I don't need to cover up as much of the screen. Let me get my head out of the way there real quick. So as you can see, 5 in a row. That's crazy. But yet again, you know, Sergei Kasparaitis, Greg Griffin, those guys have just been fantastic. Jason K with 2 Lady Bings. Marian Mikas. I believe Mayura might have been one of our guys as well. But Jason K with 2 Conn Smites there, and of course Kim Whiting has had an absolutely fantastic career along with Isaiah McMuffin. Those guys have been really, really, really good for us in net, and no Rockets here, so maybe we'll see somebody break that. But overall, you know, this team is looking pretty darn good overall, and the Komets are looking to try and repeat, three-peat actually. But yeah, let me just get that camera sorted out. Looks really good. Okay, so now that that is all sorted, we did have one highlightable comment here. It came from Duke Storm saying that Ben Skinner pick was insane. Great draft. And yes, I think it was a great draft too. We landed some really good prospects. And when you go into the system and look at this team, it's just like, oh my god, we've got some fantastic players in here. Obviously, Kasparaitis has now hit a high elite status. Maybe he'll become a franchise defenseman, but unlikely for the most part. But again, when we go into the system, you can see Ben Skinner is now up to a 61, and he is at a goal per game pace. And Zach Marks, who is just another fantastic pick overall here, has got 13 points in just 9 games. So yeah, a bunch of these unsigned guys that we're not going to sign for a little while have a very good shot of making the team over the next couple seasons. And of course, we will clear space for those guys to make sure that they have roster spots to play in. But overall, we're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to get through the regular season simulation here today. We're going to do it nice and quick and, you know, hopefully get some results again with the Komets, as really when you look at the lines and this team, the defense is simply the best in the league. The forwards are really darn good. The goaltending is right up there too for best in the league. And, yeah, something I actually noticed was that Weston Zajac is the fastest player on our team. He's got a 5-star skating category with 99 speed and acceleration, and he's just an absolute god for a 4th overall pick. He's developed fantastically well, and of course he's got over 1,000 points. He's actually got 1,100 points throughout his career. Not quite like the K brothers, who have just been torching the league since they stepped into it pretty well, at 1,300 points apiece there, but we are seeing some slight decline here in Jason K. And hopefully, you know, he can bump it back up, put up another fantastic year. I mean, obviously, 114 points is nothing to complain about. But at the same time, really, it was a lower number for what we have been seeing from the K brothers. They are starting to age now, 31, 32 years old. And, of course, Eric Sider is already 35. So, I mean, although the future is still looking all right with this team, we do have a couple things to not so much worry about, but more so just to think about for the future. And, you know, maybe we'll have to change the system fit once these guys start to retire. But overall, I mean, the defense is so darn good that I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference. And again, if we keep the defense and the goaltending together, this team is going to be fine no matter what. So now that that is all sorted, let's get into a regular season simulation. I will be back with you guys at the 41 game mark, and then we will go from there. Also, one more thing, guys, I would like to quickly apologize for this upload being a day late, but I am also working on a couple career simulation videos that are hopefully going to turn out really well, and I think you guys are going to enjoy them. So again, apologies for not hitting those double uploads on back-to-back days, but of course you are going to get this episode today, and then of course the Pirates episode on Monday. Alright guys, so halfway through the season here, we are looking at 68 points for Charlie K already. Holy crap. The Komets have a 32-8-1 record, so 65 points. Last year they put up 136 points, so I don't know if that 65 win record is going to be broken. They're trending for 64 wins right now. Will they hit it? Probably not, but we also only had 11 regulation losses and 6 overtime losses last year, so that was insane. But again, the league is just strong here. Lots of teams putting up pretty solid points, but again, the Komets are simply head and shoulders above the rest of it. And again, Charlie K, 68 points. I bet you he doesn't even lead the league with that, and that's a high number in 41 games. He's on pace for 136 points. So no, Charlie K does lead the league just with Matthew LeBanc right up there as well, 62 points. And Marcus Presiden't, of course, as well. He has been fantastic for the Oshawa Outlaws. But yeah, Presiden't, 62 points too. Your top goal scorer here is looking like, yeah, it's going to be LeBanc. Again, Jackson Okposo, man, if we had landed that guy, he would have been fantastic. Of course, we ended up moving down instead. But there's quite a few franchise players in here that are really good players. And yeah, there's a lot of guys that can put the puck in the net, do that sort of thing. 55 points for Jason K is looking, or not Jason K, Weston Zajac. Where's Jason K? He's at 53. Okay. Montreal's still stacked though, man. Like, yeah, the Canadiens are really good. Lots of teams are really good. But the Komets, again, as a team, the Komets are just simply one of the best organizations out there. Chicoutimi is a team that we will have to worry about, as, you know, Estrada, Gunther, Gaustad. Those guys are all going to be really good players. Again, Oshawa as well we should worry about, simply because they've got Presiden't with Barnett and McGillney, and they got Connor Stevens in net too. So, I mean, that's your halfway update, and yeah, this is just insanely solid from these players. I want to look at our team stats again. And Sergei Kasparaitis also over a point per game as a defenseman. Marian Mikas is kind of dropping off, unfortunately. I mean, he's still got 35 points. It's not a bad season by any means, but Zachariah Redmond also just got injured, and he has not been having too hot a year, obviously. I mean, he's only in his second year, to be fair. He's probably in his sophomore slump right now. But only guy with no real points is Glenn Letowski here, because he has been injured for the majority of the season. Of course, Nolan Ekblad came in to take his place. But our best plus-minus leader here is Sergei Kasparaitis. Go figure. Buddy is just a machine on the back end. So, that's the team. That's how we're doing it at 41 games, and I'll be back with you guys at the end of the season. Alright guys, so to end off the season, a 61-16-5 record is what the Komets put up for the 2036/37 season. Charlie K has a year this year putting up 114 points, so nothing absurd, but still a really good season, of course. You know, this team has just been fantastic overall. We, again, just have a crazy team here, and, well, let's take a look at the standings to just see where, you know, everybody else kind of lines up. 127 seems to be the highest, and, yeah, Regina and Regina, Oshawa, and Winnipeg all come in at 113, tied for second place pretty well. And the Komets will yet again win a President's Trophy. So that is now a three-peat on President's Trophies for the Komets. And Charlie K did drop off a bit. Weston Zajac had a year as well, 112 points. And Kasperitis and Jason K both at the 90-plus point mark. Unfortunately, Jason K doesn't break 100. I thought he was going to again this year. Mikas had 27 goals, so not bad. And let's see, Redmond had a slight improvement, nothing crazy. 1 point, but played 4 less games. Kai Hartikainen is so darn good, man. I'm really enjoying having him on the team, especially at 6'4", 213. He's just such a good physical presence, too. And yeah, as you can see here by most of the stats, you know, the team did pretty darn good. And Isaiah McMuffin with 47 wins. Cameron Dico wins 14 out of 19 and has a higher save percentage than Isaiah McMuffin, too. So that is an interesting one. Rodrigo Niedermeyer puts up 15 points throughout the season. And, of course, Cameron Dica's, how many wins is that? 14 wins. Is the only rookie goalie here on the team. For the entire league for rookie goalies, I actually don't know who put up the most wins. As a rookie goalie, Philippe Boudreau. Holy, 47 wins? Are you serious right now? Trajanovic is really good. Jalen Ranger turned out well. Easton Marco. Wow, there was, I guess this was the year for rookie goalies. It's the only way I can really put it. For rookie skaters, we're looking at Brendan Crabb, who's an 8th overall pick back in 2035. He puts up 64 points. The first overall pick from this most recent year, I don't even remember who it was. I guess it would have been Don Marshall. Yeah, pretty good player there. For all goalies in the league, looks like it's going to be McMuffin and Boudreau tying it up there, but Boudreau played 71 games versus McMuffin's 64. So, I mean, take that as you will. I think McMuffin was probably more valuable, but maybe not. And Sergei Kasperitis leads all defensemen with 91 points there. So that's pretty insane. Apart from that, actually, Gustavo Colburn puts up 72 points for the 4th highest scoring defenseman in the league as a two-way as well. So that's really scary when you have to consider that both those guys are on the same team. And for all forwards, Marcus Perezigan leads the league with 121 points. By the looks of it, LeBanc and Giordano both pass. Giordano, man, seriously? That's insane. 110 assists and only 7 goals. Holy. That's absurd. Like, that is genuinely absurd. My goodness. So yeah, that's your point scorers. That's crazy. I assume Matthew LeBanc's 72 is going to lead the league. Yes, just barely, as Carol Bubik is up to 95 as well. 95 rated sniper. So yeah, not exactly surprising that he's putting in that many goals. That's crazy. And yeah, Blomstrand, Bolesky, Langford, you know, all sniper / power forward kind of names in here. These guys are all just, you know, fantastic players overall and are going to put up lots of points. And yeah, that is the team, that is the league. That's how everything has shaped up so far. Of course, Weston Zajac was in there too. So yeah, really good season. Again, to three-peat on President's Trophies is not an easy task by any means, and the Komets have done it. But again, the Komets have a sick team. So I'm sure if certain guys had to carry more weight that they probably would. But man, what a great season. Regular season anyways. So the regular season and the AHL is all finished, and we are going to be lining up against the Red Deer for the second time in the last 3 years in the first round. So we'll see what Red Deer's looking like and go from there. I would say that our two biggest rivals as the Kelowna Komets so far throughout this franchise mode have probably been the Vancouver Canucks, and then after the Canucks, I would say probably the Ottawa Senators. The Canucks are still in the playoffs. Ottawa did not make it this year, which is, a little worrisome for them. They've got Carpentier and, a couple other really good players, but they just didn't make it. Vancouver did. But the only way we could meet them would be in the Western Finals, which, to be fair, we always seem to meet them in the second round. Lethbridge, we played 2 years in a row as well. The Lumberjacks are not here either this year. So, yeah, that's kind of just how everything's shaping up. Red Deer, of course, we have played twice in our league history, or team history. And this should be a good series coming up, but let's take a quick peek over at the Red Deer, see how they did and how they're looking. But, Red Deer definitely has one franchise player. I'm almost certain of that. Can't remember his name right now. Yes, of course, Leonardo Lindros. Yeah, he's a absolute stud of a player. And, of course, they got Grantham, they got Jay Joseph, they got James Corey. Oh, my God, this team is actually really freaking solid. They got Drouin Delorier, who's huge. My goodness, this is a very solid forward group. Defensively, too, they are actually a surprisingly good team. Zach Young playing along with Zach Umberger. Got the two Zachs. Lindgren's 37 now. That's a little old. Eddie Samoskowitz is their starting goalie. And, okay, they are a fully healthy, ready-to-go team. They look pretty solid defensively. They might be one of the best defenses that we're going to have to face all year. The only other thing I wanted to show you guys was they put up the exact same record. Burnaby, let's go. Okay. So I assume 127 points would put the Bolts at the top of the AHL. But, let's just double check. And, of course, they did finish top. So that is gorgeous. Bedrich Rachanek puts up 87 points this year. Who else was really good? Wow, Dmitry Komatov. Another player that really stepped it up. Christian Riopal, again, a first-round pick. Previous first-round pick. Hasn't really turned out to be anything too special. Considering he went in that first round, but he was a later round pick. Who else? Kalanos made a big jump, but unfortunately he is a pinch and shoot, so unlikely he actually goes anywhere in our team. Of course, Carson Lam, again, another player that we are going to keep a close eye on, and he will most likely be making our team at some point here, most likely replacing a guy by the likes of Bernard Thibault eventually, but they've got Syracuse first, so we're not going to worry too much about Burnaby. Of course, I would like to get the Komets a three-peat here. Obviously, last year was special as Burnaby went really far, but I'm expecting them to go far again this year. So let's get into this first round of the playoffs, see how it goes, and probably wrap it up after that. So, game number 1. Calvin Urkamps immediately goes down with an injury, and we win that game 7-2. Jorgen Steen, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points in one game. Very solid starting performance there. Burnaby won. Okay. Heading into game number 2 against the Red Deer. It is yet again a 7-1 victory. Charlie K with 6 points in just 2 games now for the Komets. He torched the Deer in game 2. And a loss, okay, interesting, for the Burnaby Bolts. All right, heading into game number 3, back to Red Deer at the Westerner Park Centurium. We will see another huge win, 6-1 for the Komets. Charlie K, 3 goals, 7 assists in just the first 3 games. And the Burnaby Bolts go down again. They might get eliminated here pretty quick, and I would not even be surprised. So let's get into game number 4 here. Obviously, the Komets could potentially pull off the sweep. I somehow hit back instead of accept. So, anyways, let's see how this goes. First period of game number 4 it's 3-0 for Red Deer. They step it up. Dollywall, Joseph, and Umberger all score there. 12-8 in shots. So the Komets really were not awake for the first period. Second period, it's a 3-1 game. Zach Redmond gets the Komets on the board. Zachariah Redmond, forgive me. And, well, let's see if the Komets can pull off a comeback in the third period. And they cannot. They lose game number 4, 5-1. So not a very stellar or standout performance from the Komets in, of course, our highlighted game of this series. But, you know, that's okay. It happens sometimes, and you can't win them all. So, not really looking too hot here for Burnaby as they are down 3-1. I would assume that they are probably out. But who knows, honestly. I wouldn't even be surprised if they pull off 3 in a row. They are that good. And, well, I'm sure having Lasarte there is not exactly the best combination. But I just don't understand why this team ain't winning more. They're good enough. They most certainly are. Yeah, I just find that really strange. And then, of course, we got a guy like Kreutzer just sitting. Like, what? Why is he not playing? Boggles the mind sometimes, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, everybody's playing. I don't get why I had to go edit lines there, but we did. Are the Bolts going to go out? They probably are. Wouldn't be surprised. Down 1-0, down 2-1, tie at 2-2. They win it in overtime and survive somehow. Don't ask me how. EA game logic, but they were kind of sucking up to that point. So, anyways, that was just a nice quick kind of blow by there. I don't really care too much about Burnaby, but we want to see if the Komets can, you know, continue their path to a three-peat. And, well, game number 5 against Red Deer. Let's see if the Komets bounce back after that last game. First period, 0-0 game, 12-5 in shots for the Komets. Second period, it's 2-1 for Red Deer. And, well, Red Deer very well may just be pushing their way back into this series if the Komets don't wake up here and put some pucks in the net. So, looks like Red Deer getting lots of shots. Power play for the Komets does not convert, and that is an issue. They do finally score even strength. Marian Mikas ties the game up at 2 apiece. Red Deer on the power play there. They don't score, but Jorgen Steen makes it a 3-2 game right after the power play. Gives Kelowna the lead, and power play for the Red Deer does not convert. They're running out of time, and Red Deer will be eliminated in just 5 games against the Kelowna Komets. So, pretty darn solid series there for Kelowna. Not really too many issues apart from, you know, being down in the second period of game number 5. Charlie K was real quiet for those last 2 games, did not put up a single point, and didn't matter because the team's still that good. But the Oshawa Outlaws beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in 4. The Windsor Wild Wings beat the Sudbury Bruisers in 4 as well. The Nailers sweep the Aces. Komets go through in 5 against Red Deer. Let's see what else happens here. Vancouver is up in their series. Winnipeg does not finish off their series. Halifax beats Gatineau. Chicoutimi goes down to Kingston. And then, let's see. We got 2 3-2 series here. Vancouver finishes off the Regina Red Hawks. I can't remember what their team name is right now. It's Regina. I believe it's Red Hawks. I might be wrong. Yeah, it is Red Hawks. So yeah, they got eliminated fairly quickly there by Vancouver. So no real surprise. As long as Vancouver still has the goaltending, they just always stand a chance, apparently. Colton Anthony has been a great player for them. Caden McBride as well. Again, they got old guys on this team, but they just always seem to get it done, which, you know, blows my mind. Quincy Torres literally just has to win 4 out of 7, and he can do that most of the time. So that's kind of what makes the Canucks as good as they are, is Quincy Torres. And, you know, that's why they keep advancing every year in the playoffs. But we've got the Nanaimo Nailers up next, and we will see if they turn out to be anything special. But let's see, where I totally did not go past Nanaimo. There we go. Ooh, okay, that's a pretty nice Nanaimo team. Jackson Hayter is a very good-looking player. Do they actually have anybody who's like a... They got Lampman and Perry, so that's probably helping. I don't think they have a single Nailers player on this team. Richmond, oh no, Lydecker. Yeah, Lydecker would be possibly their one and only. What the heck, man? They got Jimmy Denny on this team, too. We got a lot of old faces here that we're going to have to play. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. There's, like, more Kelowna Komets players on this Nanaimo team than there are Nanaimo drafted players. I think there's 2. So, yeah, that's the Nailers. We should just call them the Komets 2.0 because when you're, picking up that many Kelowna Komets players and going far in the playoffs, why not, right? But, oh my gosh, they did not. They did not take this to 7. Oh my gosh, the Burnaby Bolts are just crazy here. And they're gonna do it. They're gonna come back from 3-1 down. Haha. Let's go, Burnaby. All right. So they somehow survive. Don't ask me how, but they do. And Kelowna and Nanaimo will be coming up next episode. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss when these uploads come out. And until next time.